Orders in Rocklahoma. We're outside and live. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Happy Memorial Weekend, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful Memorial Weekend. And yes, I am proving my husband wrong that I am in pain. I am in so much pain right now that I can't stand it. But he wanted me to stream for you guys. How about that? I'm here. I'm here. And nothing that you get from my stream, well, I'm just going to say this. You're going to be uplifted and hopefully you'll get something out of it. But I'm proving him wrong that I'm in a lot of pain right now. So, and he's using his camera, as you can see. Say hi. Because he wanted to challenge me to say, well, if I put a phone in a stand right in front of you, you're not going to be in any pain whatsoever. Because this is what you live for, Vic. This is what you live for. Isn't that right, honey? Oh, we'll see. As you can hear him laughing in the background and stuff. But I'm proving him wrong, you guys, right? 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 That's right, I am. I am.
Painter's already. You got a smile on your face. You got a smirk.
Is this a smile on my face? Is it a smirk? I love you, honey. So here we are in my neck of the woods. And last time you saw me was what, Thursday night? You know, I didn't sleep for 2 days. I got my rest. I slept for how long? I slept for a long time and stuff. And then I got up and I got a migraine and all this. I'm like, no. And all that. But I'm out here now proving my husband wrong. And I'm sticking to my story. Hi, Dean. Hi, Hayes. How's it going? I hope you're having a good weekend so far.
You already got visitors.
I'm trying to prove my husband wrong, saying that I'm in a lot of pain. Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear. I'm glad you are. Do you have any special plans this weekend? Thank you for the heart, by the way. I truly appreciate it. Right now, we have no plans for Memorial Day weekend. Depends on my pain. Hearts, 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 hearts. Prayer for the dog. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to me. I truly appreciate it. So, Dean, do you have any special plans for Memorial Day weekend? Like I said, we have none right now. It really depends on my back. Hi, Hayes. No, yeah. We're just enjoying the outside right now. You know. And about 2 months ago, all this was on fire. Because of the wildfires and stuff in this area. But it's good to see green right in back of me. Good to see green. There's still remnants of... Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they? Yeah. I like it myself. Yeah. Cool glasses for a cool chick. Yeah. So right now my pain is I'm rocktastic. I deal with back pain, but right now for some reason it's at its horrible level, so I can get to talk to you guys. But I'm rocktastic. I'm doing my own thing. You know, my husband challenged me to do this because I was in a lot of pain just a few minutes ago. So, yeah. But like I said, I hope you're having a good Memorial Day weekend. Last night it rained like cats and dogs out here. Do you guys like to hear rain? Just if you're really, let's say, in a depressed mood, stressed mood, and it just rains, and you just sit back in your lazy boy or just lay down on your couch and you hear the rainfall. Does that help you any with your stress level? Like make you feel more relaxed? It does for me. So last night, yeah, we had a pretty good storm. But thanks for the likes and the hearts. I love the hearts floating. So yeah. I have the best husband in the world, okay? I really do. Because he'll challenge me and I'll say, never challenge a girl from Jersey. Hi, Alessio. How's it going? Thanks for the heart. How are you? And thanks for dropping by. Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear positivity. We need more positivity in this world. I'm all right. I'm rocktastic. Even though I'm dealing right now with pain, and this is not the best seat to sit in, but I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. So where are you from, Alessio? If I don't know. From the UK, from across the pond. All right. How's the weather over there? What part of the UK are you from? Thanks, Steve, for showing up. I truly appreciate you. Come by some other time. You don't know. You don't know what. Thanks, Dean. The weather's fine. I don't know. What? You don't know where you live? I'm from Oklahoma. Originally from Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. You can get me out of the state of New Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of me. I'm glad I got out of Jersey when I did. To tell you the truth. All right, Alessio, how old do you think I am? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. $60? Oh no! Really? You're way off, buddy. All right, so that's 1 guess. You have one more guess. Like I said, I'm going to give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. So that's 1 already. 8. Yep, I'm 80. All right. That's 2 down. You have 1 to go. A million years old. Hey, you, what's up, Moto? There was another Dean that just left. All right, so, Alessio, I'm 21. 21 forever, baby. 21 forever. 21 with 33 years experience. Now do the math. Oh, I know. I love these. Great buy, right? It's all about my revamping of my channel. That's why I got these. They fit me too. They fit my face right and everything. My pumpkin face. But I'm feeling a lot better than I'm an infinity years old. That's right. My spirit, my rocktastic spirit will last infinity. I left my mark on this earth one way or the other. Right? Yeah, I love these shades. Rap? No. I don't like rap. Rap is crap. Well, thank you. I asked Dean. I was standing out here in a lot of pain, right? And I sat down, and Jim challenged me, and he says, "Listen," he says, "if I get your camera out here and a stand, and you're gonna sit here, and you're gonna prove me right that if I do this, that you're gonna be all smiles and happy and all that stuff because that's what you live for." And you know what? I guess he's right. But don't tell him that. Say poo. Poo. There you go. Poo. Yeah, I got my rest, and I woke up actually with a migraine and my back pain and all that stuff. You know. So, but I'm not going to stay up for 2 days straight again. That was just... I had to keep... I just told you where I was. Alessia, don't you listen? I'm in your neighborhood. How about that? I'm like Mr. Rogers in your neighborhood. I told you. What's up, Ray? How are you, buddy? How are you? I'm doing rocktastic. Well, good to hear. I like to hear positivity. What are you doing this Memorial Day weekend? Anything special? Poo poo da 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 da. There. Really? Where's that going to be held at? Ray? Wait, hold the presses here. My husband is walking. Hold on, come here. Come here. Yeah. Come here. Hold on. Tell the folks out there what your challenge was to me. Can you hear him? Here, we'll just do it like this. Now tell him.
To get her ass off the couch, come outside, stop whining about the pain, distract herself with something that she thoroughly enjoys, and get out in the sun and lighten her mood. You tell me if it's working, because that's all I got to say about that. Look at her smile.
That was that was my husband. And you notice his shirt too, right? You see what it says on his shirt, right? Let's just show it.
I asked God for an angel. He sent me my New Jersey wife.
That's right. And I'm his angel. More of a pain in the ass if you ask me, but you know.
Yesterday I was wearing same colors and the shirt that says being a trophy husband is tiring, right? And I got an older couple, probably late 40s, saw that and got a big chuckle out of it. Husband showed his wife.
Wait, all right, so hold on, I have to. Whoops, nope. Dean says, hello, husband of Rocket.
Hello, Dean.
And Ray said something saying, people don't believe it, but the sun will help you heal.
Yes. Yes.
He's agreeing with you, Ray.
You were out here for 2 minutes and you already...
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to take my glasses off. Nope. They are a part of me.
Yeah, you stay on fire, babe. Rocket.
Say that again.
You stay on fire, Rocket.
You heard that, right? Wait, hold on. Jim? What's the name of hubby, unless it's private? No, it's Jim. He used to be called Armored Saint on Xbox. And I used to be Rocket Queen. And we were like the Frankie and Johnny of Xbox. The Bonnie and Clyde of GTA 5. And Dean says, I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's Jim. You know. And since he challenged me with this challenge of me being in front of the camera, he had to be on here. Even though he doesn't like to be on camera. But, you know, that's what he says.
I love you.
I love you too.
This is here for an emergency.
All right.
I'm probably going to go to town.
All right. He's going to go to town, guys. What should he get me? What should he get me if he's going to town? It should be Java Monster. Java Monster or Alani.
Well, you got a whole box of those, don't you, unopened?
No, I've been drinking them.
Now, I bought you 4 to last till tomorrow.
I know, but, you know, you challenged me to do this, so I deserve something, or get me a candy bar. Hey, yeah, honey, Jim. Ray says to get me a T-bone steak with baked potato and a bunch of flowers. I love the way you think, Ray. That's what I try one. There's a good place around here called Steer Inn. And they have a buffet like every Friday and Saturday. My friend is the head chef there. And he loves when I come in there because I'm like the life of the party and stuff. And it's a good deal for the buffet. You know, they have Colton Steakhouse too here and stuff. It's all right, but see how I just suck him right in, right? No, get your mind out of the gutter, guys. I love a buffet, all you can eat, then go take me a nap. Do you know what he said when we went to Steer Inn one day? I like salad. Yeah, I like salad, all right. No, I like salad, right, with my meal. And so he said to my friend, I'm not here for the salad. I'm here for the steak and ribs and, you know, prime rib and everything. I'm not here for the salad. But when I get a whole buffet and stuff, I get a whole big salad with beets and chickpeas and, you know, whatever else, like radishes, cucumbers, lettuce, you know, all the fixings on the salad bar. But yeah, you're making my mouth water now. But if you're ever in the Oklahoma area, around the Cleveland area, Tulsa, look up Steer Inn. It's a good place. Now, Ray, tell me about this Ride for America. What is it about? Inquiring minds want to know. Hell, I would do it if I had a bike. Hell, you know what? Maybe if I can, you know, somehow, oh wait, all right. Pictures of Memorial Day ride for the veterans. We do it every year, always. At least 1,000 bikes or better. I gotta go editing a video to at least one this week. I missed Wednesday. You know, it's just important. I know. I love you, brother. I love you, Dean. You know that. Do what you have to do. Just by you being here is enough, Dean. And just by you being here is enough, Greg. Ray, sorry. Brain fart. Boop. Oh, you didn't mean to say pictures. Yeah, but you can still take pictures along the route, right? Thank you, Rock. I have yawn and wait. I can't breathe with these glasses. And I needed to hear that today. I appreciate you and love you too. All right, Moto. What? I can't even speak. It must be the fresh air or something, right? We'll catch you later, buddy. Yeah, we'll make a video. I did something last year for Veterans Day. I mean, I did like a 12-hour stream. I'm not going to do it this year, though. But I put like a lot of patriotic songs on there. I'm very patriotic. You know, my husband served in the Army. And I salute you guys and thank you for your service. You know, I meant to say I will have you on the background voice to text is enough on some days I must mumble. No problem. No problem. But But see, I love doing stuff like that, like for Veterans Day. And I don't, let's get your take on this, guys, who are veterans. Ray, Donald Trump wants to change the name of Veterans Day to Victory Day. And I think that's a slap in the veterans' faces. It should just be called Veterans Day because victory, no, there were plenty of losses, okay? He should just stick with veterans. Because they sacrifice a whole lot. Alright, Rocket Queen, I gotta go help my wife get the groceries in the car. Alright. Say hello to wifey for me. I'll catch you later. Thanks for dropping by, Ray. Love you, brother. I appreciate you. So if you guys are veterans out there, I mean, yes, it is. That is for sure. Donald Trump is disappointing me. He's being more egotistical now, right? And like just like he changed the Gulf of Mexico to a Gulf of America and is actually official now. But Elon Musk is up his ass all the time now. You notice that? You notice that? Something's not right with that either, okay? It's all about ego. And my husband says I have ego problems, like egotistical problems or narcissistic problems. No, I don't. I'm far from narcissistic. Because I actually thought my hair was going to be a mess. Right, you know. I came out here in all my glory. You know, sunglasses and all. Trying to prove my husband wrong. Saying, yeah. You need to get help? With what? We all need help. Are you trying to get some validation? Because you're not getting enough attention in the real world, so you're going to come on here to try to bully me, harass me, try to be like you're cool or something? Yeah. Well, sometimes we have to fight for what's right. That I do agree with. That's for sure. I'll agree with you on that. Sometimes we have to fight for our lives, especially if we were in addiction. Like for me, I was fighting for my life, but I didn't care at that time because what the heck's wrong with you by coming on my stream and trying to be like you're all cool? I guess your mommy and daddy didn't give you any validation today, huh? I was addicted to crack and heroin. I've been clean and sober for many years. I've been clean off of crack and heroin since 2004, alcohol since 2011. I still have issues. I'm still human, guys. I still go through depression, anxiety, panic attacks, pain issues with my back. You know, I should have been dead years ago. But just because I'm in a, say, if I'm in a pain or life isn't going right for me, it doesn't give me the right to go on somebody else's channel to, you know, have a ruse from somebody by just saying real off the wall things. And I am blessed. There was this kid just yapping away, like just, you know, whatever. When you get people like that on your stream, you just don't feed into, well, I feed into them. I just entertain them and stuff. But yeah, I am blessed. I'm blessed to be alive. Okay? I'm blessed to have my husband and you, Dean, as a friend, and Ray, and Lolly, and Frogzilla, and a lot of other people in my life. Okay? And I don't take it for granted anymore. Especially when there was a wildfire, 2 months ago, that we almost lost everything. And that's why my slogan, let's create a wildfire change, has a different meaning to me now. Hence the shade, right? Life is good, guys. Life is still good. You know? I you know, God gave me another chance. He gave me plenty of chances, like I had 9 lives like a cat. And that one last chance, I had to take it. Hi, Dean, what's up? Moto, meet Dean. Dean, meet Moto. Moto's name is Dean, too. Glad to have you back. So we had some troll on here and stuff that wanted validation and all that stuff, and he tried to shake me, I guess, right? He doesn't know who he's messing with. All right? So, I don't know what just happened there. Message retracted. I don't know what happened there. Oh well. But it's a beautiful day out. I hear the birds chirping, right? Blue skies in Oklahoma with some clouds. You know, I love coming out here to do my stream because this is just raw, naked. It's stripped down. It's not what I usually do. You know, I want to do other streams like this, but I actually want to like do like painting, like Bob Ross, and all that. Like do it outside instead of inside. You know. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. It got off with a bad start with me, with my back pain and whatever, but it's getting better. Thank God. You know. I'm just glad to see green popping up instead of all burnt. Plain air painting? Like airbrush. I actually had a couple of friends back in Jersey that used to do the airbrushing. You could do, you know what, Dean? You could airbrush. You're a tattoo artist. That would be like simple for you. Because it's all about the shading and everything. That would be a second hobby or a second monetization for you if you do airbrushing. Oh. Duh. Yeah, you have. Do you know, and I bet you didn't know this, that some morticians airbrush? How I know that? Because a friend of mine back in Jersey is an undertaker, and sometimes they just do airbrush because sometimes the skin, whatever. Let's not talk about that. It was my first passion before tattooing. You were on the spot about it. Do you know some guy, I watched this on YouTube, that, look this up. It's called Air Dot or something like that. And this guy, it's all about like automation, like robots doing the tattooing. Look it up on Shark Tank on YouTube. But it was ridiculous. You had to lease the machine. The tattoo owner of the shop can't buy it. It had to be leased. Check that out. And the asking offer he was asking for was ridiculous. But he was saying that all these tattoos that were printed out and whatever were licensed by other tattoo artists and stuff. But it was all automated by machine. Robot. So even the robots are taking over your job, Dean. That's ridiculous. So apparently everybody can be a tattoo artist if they had that machine. But like I said, this guy is only leasing one machine. He only had one machine built, and you have to lease it. Talk about AI. AI has, I don't know if you heard this about VO3. It's about by Google. And it's $250 a month. Okay? But right now, for the first 3 months, they'll give you a break, $100 off. They'll give it to you for like $25 a month, right? I want to try it, okay? Because I'm really into AI. I want to try it. But I'm not going to pay $250 a month for it. But pretty soon, guys, you're not going to see, you're not going to know if it's real or not. If it's real or Memorex. Remember that commercial back in the 80s? So, who knows? Maybe you're talking to an AI and me and you don't even know it. Seriously. I love AI. And Jim, says to me, you're spending too much on AI. And I'm like, because he told me I'm spending $212 a month for AI. He's like, you gotta cut back a little bit on this AI stuff. And I look down the list. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about that. Because they'll give you trial versions, like try it out for a week. And of course, that's how they do this, so you can forget and you get, siphon money out of you, right? But some AI sites are predatory also. That's why I'm thinking about changing my email address. Tell you the truth, but, So look up, like, Google VO3. I told Jim, I said, yeah, I would love to try out once, just to say I did it. Because look at me, I was a garbage head back in the 80s, right? With the drugs and all that stuff. Sure, I'll try it. Oh, nothing's going to control me. And look what happened, right? So, yeah. But thank God, right? I got my rest. I'm feeling okay. I'm all right. I'm out here enjoying the weather, being outside. Even in my darkest days, like with my pain, I'm still thankful for everything. Like my husband, my family, friends, my home. I'm grateful for God for giving me another day clean and sober. I just read, too, that Tim McGraw had 3 back surgeries and 2 knee replacements all in 6 to 8 months. And when I saw that, I said, that's why I don't want to have back surgery. Hi, Smokey. What's up? How's it going? Thanks for dropping by. How are you today? I'm rocktastic. My pain in my back is like at a horrible level, but I'm okay. I'm doing all right. Life is good. Life is good. Where are you from, Smokey? I'm from Rocklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains. Who would have thought a Jersey girl would move to Rocklahoma? And you know, it's funny too. Like, you know, I'll talk to people, right? And they'll say, "Where are you from?" Because they know I'm not from around here because of my voice and whatever. I said, "Oh, I'm from Jersey." They're like, "Jersey?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm living here now." You know, I met my husband on Xbox, blah 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 blah, right? They're like, "Why would you move here for?" I'm like, "Why wouldn't I? It's peaceful here. The people are laid back. They're friendly. You know." And some people are saying, "Well, it's boring around here." I'm like, "No, it's not." Hi, Dean. Welcome back. Where are you from, Dean? I actually want to go to Tallgrass again. That's near Pawhuska, where Pioneer Woman's ranch is. Because if you go to Tallgrass, well, Bison Preserve, it feels like you're in the movie Dances with Wolves. And that's God's country, I swear. That's why I get out of the car and ride up at a buffalo or a bison. But I think back in there's a place in Sussex County in New Jersey, and by Newton, there's a place called Space Farms, and they have like a museum, like a relic museum and stuff. The owner died years ago, but his kids are taking care of, you know, Space Farms and stuff, business, and they have buffalo, and you can actually pet them. But these uh, these groups like PETA and other groups and stuff saying, "Oh, they you know medicate the animals so they're all sleepy, they won't charge after you or whatever," and that was unfounded and whatever, you know. But they used to have lions. They used to have a great big bear, grizzly bear named Goliath. And he passed away, but they stuffed him and, you know, and everything else and stuff. But yeah, that was a good place to go. Space Farms in Sussex, New Jersey. It's in Ogdensburg. That's where it is. Ogdensburg. Here in Oklahoma, they have like the Oklahoma City Zoo, which I didn't go to yet. They have the Tulsa Zoo, which I did go to. That was a neat place. I went to the Jenks Aquarium in Jenks, Oklahoma. They actually have a shark tunnel where you can actually, go in the tunnel and the sharks would go over you and stuff, which is pretty cool. So it's far from boring around here. Route 66, I mean, come on. The mother road, Route 66, they're trying to rebuild that too, actually. That's a great road trip to go on. And Route 66 goes right through Tulsa, too. So every time I have to go to the hospital or the doctors or whatever, I go on Route 66. So. So, let's see here. Java Monster is the only rocket fuel for this rocket queen. Hell yeah! I have to do my plug for Java Monster, even though they're not paying me to do it. Cheers, guys. My husband bought 4 Java Monsters because our cases of Java Monster aren't going to come in until tomorrow. So he bought me 4, and I'm already done with 3 of them already. You think I have an addiction to Java Monster? Yeah, I think I do. Junior! 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 Don't ignore me. So, I guess I'm proving my husband wrong, huh? Wink, wink. Yeah. I actually when I first got here to Oklahoma, and after we got married, I wanted to, make like a patio with like the slate rock and everything, and that was gonna be my project. I got the chairs here, and I couldn't do the rest because guess what happened? All my money went into streaming. And plus my back and my foot, I couldn't do it. It's just as nice, But I really want to get a patio table with an umbrella and put it out there, out front. And like I said before, I want to do like painting, like with acrylic paints and just paint whatever. And maybe you can, it'll be like a Bob Ross VR session where you say, all right, put a tree here, put a mountain here, put the stars here, put all that stuff, right? It'll be interactive so you can create the painting also. Right? That's an idea. Right there, right? I think that'll be fun. And then we'll sell it on eBay. Ow. So it's just nice to get out, right? Instead of being inside all the time. I truly believe at times I become agoraphobic. It's not, I love people, I love talking to people, meeting people, whatever. But I think it's because I don't want to like twist my back wrong or whatever, right? And then I go into a panic attack and just ruin the fun for everybody. You know? And yeah, when I get into a lot of pain, and when I'm sleep deprived and all that stuff, I do go into a very deep depression and in a very dark place. Very dark place. Dark place. Yeah. And come to think, I just thought of this now, and just maybe I like going in that dark place to see how far I've came. Right? I mean, that could be a possibility right there. I never thought of it that way. But it doesn't give me an excuse to pick up a drink or a drug. You know? The world could blow up 10 minutes from now. No excuse to pick up a drink or a drug. You know? I watch these channels at times, like Lost in Phoenix, and there's also another channel from Jersey called Jersey. What's that? I don't know. But he films right in the neighborhood I used to cop at, and it blew my mind. I seriously think God was showing me, see how far you came? You're not there anymore. You're here. You know, I truly believe that. I forget that guy's name, Jersey. Whatever, but I watch some of these channels. And some of these channels, I really feel like they're exploiting these people because they're vulnerable and they're still using drugs, and all that stuff. I feel like they're making the problems worse than actually helping them. Even though and it's like, they'll go up to the person, say, her name is Angela, right? And they'll say, oh, guess what? All these people that watch the channel, gave you a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon. Look, here, look at this. They gave you a new shirt. Oh, look at this. They gave you a new umbrella. Oh, look at this. They gave you, you know what I mean? This one channel that I watched, it was only maybe a couple of times, and this channel's from Jersey, and it was in the neighborhood that I used to cop at, whatever, and this girl, she was pregnant, and she was talking about all this stuff, and it was like really, I don't know how I would explain it. Heart-wrenching? Or maybe... And this girl that was pregnant, she was supposed to go into a program, and the guy said, well, yeah, I'll meet you on Friday to pick you up at the Dunkin' Donuts. And I knew where that Dunkin' Donuts was. I used to go there, right? And so Friday comes along, and he asked these two guys that were on the streets, homeless, whatever, saying, well, where's so-and-so? Oh, she died. What do you mean she died? What? She was supposed to go to a program today. Oh, yeah, some dealer beat the shit out of her. Oh, that's nice. And so it brought me back to, I was, first of all, I never used crack or heroin when I was pregnant, or drank anything, smoked pot, nothing with my kids when I was pregnant with them. Okay, thank God for that. But the way she was talking, like she said, she didn't want the kid, all that stuff. It was like, it was hard to hear, and I became more grateful that that didn't happen to me. And I never went back to that channel after that. I think it just it really I don't know. It was like, in Charles Dickens. Do you know how they, Charles Dickens, Ebenezer Scrooge had 3 ghosts visit him during the story, during the Christmas Carol, and the last one was, the Christmas ghost of the future that will be, or whatever. But when he went back to the past, and he stole all this stuff with him in the past. That's how it felt like I was actually brought back to my past. I actually want to do something with that guy that does video in that neighborhood where I used to use and stuff, but I'm not going to, because he actually gives the people money. I don't want that. And his excuse is, well, they're doing the interview, they're on camera and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, you can give them like a sandwich or something that they really need, not money, because you know where that money's going to. They could sell the sneakers for pot, or crack or whatever, right? But still. I've come a long way, baby. Come a long way. And I talked to my mom, about a week ago, and I said, yeah, I'm still clean and sober, and she's like, I hope you're still sober. I'm like, yeah, I am. And thanks to her and her tough love, it made me the woman I am today. I'm always grateful for her. Always. But and like they say, hi, Dean. Welcome back. Where are you from, Dean? Like I said, I'm from Oklahoma, originally from Jersey. I'm glad I left Jersey when I did. So where are you from? Ireland. What, near Belfast? Are you by the capital? Dublin? Did you ever kiss the Blarney Stone? I had actually a couple friends that went to Ireland and actually kissed the Blarney Stone. No? I don't think a lot of Irish people do. It's like, oh, big deal. It's a tourist attraction, right? One of my friends told me, because he was Irish and stuff, right, that he went there, and he went to kiss the Boring Stone. He says, no, it's not you just walk up and kiss it. You have to really bend over and kiss it. You know what I mean? Like, he says, it's so hard, and it's so frightening that yet when you do that. So what do you do in Ireland? You don't know? Do you drink a lot? Oh, thank you. My husband thinks so too. I appreciate the compliment. Good for you. Donkey? That's Shrek, right? Donkey's your best friend, right? Shrek? It's going pretty well. I'm having a glorious day. How about you? How's your day going? Lloyd, thank you. I get a lot of compliments on my glasses. I think they're pretty cool too. Hi, Alessio. Well, good to hear that, Shrek. I see that, Alessio. So how's your day going, Alessio? You're coming back from war. I like Shrek the movie. They should actually come out with another one, right? If they came out with another movie, do you think Jack Black should be in it? I'm just curious. Jack Black did what? Shrek. I'm sorry, Minecraft, right? Have any of you guys seen Minecraft? The movie? I haven't. But it's causing a lot of controversy, right? With Duck Jockey or whatever. I never played Minecraft either. I thought about it a few years ago about playing it, but nah. So in fact, I haven't played video games in months. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. So I'm glad that after 2 days of not sleeping and resting my back and all that, and after I recharge my whole being in my body, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, my stream again and how I want to do it, revamp it. And it takes a lot of work, and it's like, it's going to be so overwhelming, you know, especially if my back is really in pain or whatever. I can't concentrate on anything. I think my husband feels guilty in a way that he can't help with me much on my stream, but he's really proud of my stream the way it's going, you know. I do want to do that, you know, like the VO3, just to try it out and just to do certain maybe PSAs for it, you know, about you know, mental health issues and, you know, getting help and, excuse me, where to get help, like I do on my stream all the time. Because there's a lot of people out there, guys, that need the help, that really need to get that push to get the help that they need. I actually want, there's a new song and video that came out with Saliva that I want to see. Just a lot of work. A lot of work. But Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Everything takes time. Everything in God's time. And I've said this on my stream many, many times. I don't do this for the fame. I don't do this for the money. I just do this to help people. You know, if I can get myself clean and sober, so can you guys. You can enjoy life. You can live, not just to exist in life. Because that's what addiction is. It's you're just floating, existing like a ghost. You know, sometimes I feel like that with my back pain. You know, that I can't do much. I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. I can't just sit on the couch and just do nothing. I have to do something. I enjoy cooking. You know, I haven't cooked in a while. And every time I cook, I'm like, my back's out for a week. And then it gets me so depressed. You know? And my husband said, oh, I'll help you cook during the weekends or something like that. I'll help. Has it happened yet? No. I'm not blaming him either. You know? There's also a thing where like for the shorts, I actually want to do daily reflection shorts. And just put them up there. You know? And you see it all the time on YouTube now with, you know, the inspirational, they're AI, okay? You see it with the AI and all that stuff, right? Faceless channels, whatever. And they do the inspirational quotes and like Alan Jackson's, my, you know, when I grow old and all that crap, you know, but I want to do something like that. I wish I had my sneakers on. I have my flip-flops on. I want to go back there so we could take a walk in the woods, but when I do that, this is going to be looking like Minecraft, where it's all glitchy and whatever, so we're not going to do that. You know, I should do something for Memorial Day. When I did my stream for Veterans Day, I worked all night, all through the night to do the PSAs, to do the copyrighted songs, whatever. And then I had 12 hours stream after that. You know, and when you do something like that for like Memorial Day or for any holiday stream or whatever, you really have to plan things out. And like with me, I'll come up with this idea and it's like, okay, we'll do this. And then it'll end up the way I get too, guys. I get very OCD with details and all that stuff. It's like I have to plan things out better and manage my time more. That's my problem. Yeah, so I'm proving my husband wrong, I'll tell you that much. I'm proving my husband wrong. I have so many projects in the till, and they just collect virtual dust, and then like I'll work on something like a video or whatever, and then if I go back in my files and I'll look at, say I come across something, it's like, oh my god, I remember working on this, you know, and it freaks me out, and just I'm a hoarder of unedited clips. It's just nice to see green again. It really is. Yep. I'm looking over there to see if there's any more cats. We had two little kittens, black kittens. I don't know where they are now. I hope they didn't get killed by, a dog or maybe a raccoon or a possum or whatever. I have a question for you guys. If you could right now, where would you be? What's your dream vacation where you would want to go? I know where I would want to go, and my husband knows it. I would like to go to New Zealand. Why New Zealand? Because my grandmother was born there. That's her homeland. She went back there back in 1985, I think, with her friend Marie Ferreira, and she spent 2 months there in New Zealand in their summer months. February and March are their summer months in New Zealand. So I would want to go to New Zealand and visit my grandmother's birthplace and travel around there. I still have family down there who I haven't seen in a long, long time or even talked to them. But I would like to try to catch up with them. I would also like to see Ellerslie Racecourse because that's where my great grandfather was the head horticulturalist there, and his palm trees still stand there today. Matt Lauer, who's a disgraced news reporter in America, he lives in New Zealand. I don't know where, but he lives in New Zealand. And if I had the money, I would live in New Zealand. To me, that's heaven on earth. That would be a nice trip to go on, but it would cost a lot of money. And plus, with my back the way it is, I couldn't go there now. But I can always dream, right? But I told my husband, like, if I ever go to New Zealand, I would get an authentic Maori tattoo, which they don't do it by the gun. They actually do it with mallet and spikes at the end of a stick, and they actually it's painful. Pound the needles into your skin. But I would do it. My grandmother was Maori. She wasn't a native, but I would get a Maori tattoo in memory of my grandmother. In fact, I should get like a kiwi tattoo on my ankle or somewhere. You know. So I take great pride in my Kiwi heritage. Kiwi power. You know. I've gotten snacks from New Zealand before. Um, I think it's called Kiwi Dairy. And I did get a box from New Zealand. Let's say, like, it was like a can of Coke. Or no, it was a can of Sprite. A little can of Sprite. And then some other chocolates and snacks and whatever. So maybe, next month I'll get myself another box. Just to treat myself, you know. It's okay to treat yourself, guys, you know. Just to pamper yourself. Whether it be maybe, you know, get a new t-shirt, maybe buying a new book, buying a new vinyl album for yourself, by going out to dinner, like, to a steakhouse or Red Lobster or whatever. It's okay to treat yourself. A lot of times, like for myself, I think about other people other than myself. Because that's just how I am. I'm all about gifts. I'm a giving person. Because it makes me feel better. Even if it's just through talking about recovery and giving, suggestions on certain topics of recovery or mental health issues or whatever. Believe me, by actually talking to people, it does make a world of difference. And yes, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So you have to turn your awareness into action. And that's what I try to do on every stream that I do. So with my stream, you get a little bit of everything. But my niche is actually helping people. Because by helping you guys, I help myself. I have to give it away in order to keep my sobriety. So it's a win-win situation. We need connection. I don't care if you're, whether you're in recovery or not. We need connection with people. Some more than others. But it's connecting with the right people. I don't want to hang around with people that talk negative all the time or have that energy like, ugh. You know, when you go into a stream, you know, and the way that the chat's reacting or talking and how the streamer is. And there's plenty of them on YouTube and Twitch and Kick and wherever else, you know. I don't want to be around that. I don't want you guys to come in here and you're having a good day and then you come in here and within 15 minutes you feel all negative. I don't want you to experience that. There's too much negativity in the world. There's too much white noise. There's too much darkness. You know? That's why I'm trying to create an army called the Queen's Light Brigade, where we, not just me, we create a wildfire of change to diminish the darkness in the world. And I know we're not going to get all of it in the world, but we're going to fight like hell to get rid of it. What's that? And I think that's why a lot of people just isolate. You know, it's like they're sick of people the way they are. You know? They don't want to be around it. I don't want to be around it. So anyway. And I'm just going to say this, okay? If you're a troll, this is for you. Whatever your reasons are, you know, if you're trying to make yourself feel better or whatever, say something nice. You get a better reaction that way. You know? Because that's you know, when you put yourself out there being all negative all the time, try to get a ruse from YouTubers or from Twitch streamers or whatever, and you know, it's not gonna last. You know, if you're miserable in your life, do something different. Do something for somebody that maybe you care about, like a friend, neighbor, your mother, your sibling, your whatever, and then maybe it'll change your perspective on things. Believe me, with the pain that I'm in, and at times I feel all miserable and whatever, I could be a mean bitch too. I could, you know, I could be like a viper, okay? But that's how I was back in my addiction. Now it's a whole different story. I drive my husband nuts though. I feel bad for him sometimes, but you know. Damn him. Damn my husband. Urgh, damn him. I guess he won the argument, huh? He's the one that mentioned, yeah, because here I'm like, oh, I'm pain, oh, my pain, oh, whiny, and, you know, whatever. And I sat down here, minding that the seats are still a little damp because of the rain last night. He said, if you had your camera out here with your stand and stuff, your whole attitude's gonna change. Because you live for streaming, Vic. Your whole attitude's gonna change. And guess what? Was he wrong? And he's laughing all the way. You know, he's laughing all the way to the store because he already knows. He was laughing in the beginning of this. But it's good to hear him laugh and just to see him smile and all that stuff, you know. He knows what turns me on. And get your mind out of the gutter, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying he knows what turns me on. Like, you know, he knows what makes me happy and enjoying life and all that stuff. I had the best husband in the world. You know, the relationship I have with my husband, Jim, this is my first real sober relationship. And when we first met, I'm talking about on Xbox, I wasn't looking for anything like a relationship or anything. No. Now, a lot of people say when you're not looking for it, that's when you get it. And bam! And that's what happened to me. But I fought him all the way. You know why? Because I was insecure about myself. And I didn't know how to give love in sobriety. All my past relationships were based on drugs, alcohol, partying all the time. And yeah, I mean, we loved each other, okay, in our own way, alright? But this is a love I never had before in my life. And so I'm thankful to God that He put Jim in my life, whether I deserved it or not. But God says, Vic, I got somebody for you. I found your match. And sure enough, He did. Although I think sometimes God was joking around, like in His own way of sense of humor and stuff. But I'm grateful in more ways than one. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Jim and I got together, you know, because he went through his thing when he was married and had his past life, and I had my past life, and you know. And I think too, you know, when all this was happening, I was afraid that I was going to get hurt again or get sucked into something that I didn't want to get caught up in, or you know what I mean. But Jim has seen the good, the bad, the ugly cry, the insanity sometimes, the panic attacks, the you know. But the one thing I told Jim about, I said I do not ever want you to see Vicious. I don't even want to see myself again as Vicious. And that's why I have to get a lot of stuff out, because I know for me, when I keep things in, it comes out the wrong way. Very explosive. You know? Very explosive. And our marriage isn't perfect. I'll admit, you know. But we're very committed to each other. We love each other very much. We care about each other very much. You know. There's an ambulance going by. I bet you if Jim's starting to come home and sing this, you know, hearing the ambulance or whatever, he's going to, oh, I opened up Vicky, I opened up Vicky. It's not. I'm in a good place right now. You know what? And if you're early in recovery, off the drugs, alcohol, and all that, starting your journey on sobriety, on recovery, give yourself about a year. They suggest that in AA, in the program. To be in any relationships for a year, because you really have to focus on yourself to get to know yourself. And I know for me, I had to do that. I had to get my head straight. I had to focus on myself, because there's plenty of times where I didn't focus on myself. You know, and plus I had a reservation in my head saying I still wanted to get high, I still wanted to drink or whatever. I still wanted to party and stuff. But wholeheartedly, when I wanted to work on myself and actually to try to live the best life I could, I had to do that for myself. One day at a time. You know, even if things got rough, or I felt lonely, or if I felt like, you know, no, you know, AA, all these people talking about the program. I don't, you know, but I want what they had, that they were happy, you know, that they had a certain look, you know, and that's what I want to be. you know. And I had to give myself a chance. I had to give myself a break, and a lot of times I don't give myself a break. I still feel guilty about things and stuff. But all what I went through, the ups and downs, the winding roads, the darkness, what I still got through it, and here I am. You know why? Because I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be happy. Yeah, I did all that stuff in my addiction, okay? But that's because I did it for the drugs. But now I know what real love is. And I don't want to let that real love go. Because, hey! Oh, hug. Oh, all right, hold on. Hug. Right, ready? Hold on. Ready? Oh, hug. How you doing, Ryder? How you doing, Hayes? I'm doing rocktastic. How's your weekend going? Whoop, whoop. Dean came by earlier and he says, I love your attitude today. Hell yeah! Everybody's, look, yeah. I got my rest, right? When I woke up this morning, my pain was like, forget it, okay? And I had a migraine yesterday and whatever, but yeah, you were gonna plant something, right? See, I want to do that too, actually. You know, like build up the, the garden. Hit me up, don't stop. You gonna send me some cucumbers or tomatoes? I told you about my nephew-in-law, right? He's been doing it for years, and he does well and all that. All the produce in these stores now, they don't have any taste, nothing. You know? And I love my tomato sandwiches. And he never heard of tomato sandwiches before. You know, like tomato and lettuce, right? With mayonnaise, and that's all you have, right? On a sandwich, white bread, whatever. You know? That's spring and summer for me. You know what I mean? And then I told him about like tomato jam or tomato jelly. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, yeah, tomato jelly. He's never tried it, tasted it, whatever. I'm like, oh my God, it's good. He's like, nah, it's all right. I'm not going to do that. But when I first moved here, oh, I do too. I do too. But just without the bacon, it tastes good. My ex-boyfriend used to call it a salad sandwich because it was only like less than tomato. But yeah. With nice beefsteak Jersey tomatoes. Yep, me too. Yep. What's up? Hippity hop. Boing, 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 boing. How's it going, Frogzilla? Well, you gotta send me some then. Oh my God. I love Jersey beefsteak tomatoes, man. I'm telling you. How's it going, Flower Child? Welcome to the stream. Exactly. There's summer, there's summer. Have a nice glass of iced tea or iced coffee with your tomato sandwiches. Oh, don't hurt your back. Don't hurt your back, Froggy. If you hurt your back, guess what? I'm banning Ryder. Okay? She's at fault. Oh, okay. Hey, what's up? High five there. Bam. And thank you for the hearts. Yeah, so, yeah. Well, come on. He's doing you something that he shouldn't be doing. I have to protect my friend, Even though you're my friend too, but I call it tough love. I'm using my mother's playbook, in a way. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying your weekend. I am. I'm proving my husband wrong. I wish you were here, guys. I swear. Because I'm going to tell you something real quick. I walked out here, right? I was in so much pain. Like, I couldn't. Jim said to me, if you had your camera out here with your stand sitting here, you're not going to be in pain. You're not going to be in pain. I said, yeah, right. So I get up, and he's like, where are you going? I said, I'm getting something, right? I'm getting something. Are we still alive? I think I'm wearing out my phone because we got disconnected. I think my phone is like, blah, blah. Stop talking, Rocket. Stop talking. Go back in the house. But anyway, so I'm trying to prove Jim wrong. I went back in the house, right? He's like, what are you doing? I changed my shirt. I came out here with my phone and my stand, and I put it down and stuff. I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong. Right? And he's filming me with his camera. So I'm going to prove you wrong. And he, all smiles. With my glasses and all that, right? All smiles like I didn't have any pain, right? Now, wait a minute. I'm... All right, wait. I know, but he knew I want the planters. So, wait. So, I made sure I got them. What love does for people, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something too, Ryder and Froggy. He saw one of your videos, right? I don't know which one it was. He's not here because he went to the store. And actually, Ray Gregory said to Jim, you better get your wife flowers. I don't want stuff for doing this. Anyway, so he saw one of your videos. He said, all right, I'm going to check her out or whatever, right? And he even said to me, I don't know if it was today. Well, yeah. He even said to me, either yesterday or today, that you guys and us, we have so much in common with each other. He even said that. So, yeah. I don't know what video it was and stuff, but just, Yeah, one day, one day, sooner or later. And boy, I'm going to tell you something between you and I, Ryder. It's going to be double trouble between you and me. If the guys go out, have their own fun time, whatever, we're going to go out and watch. The whole town, city of Tulsa is going to burn. Or something. Oh, you know it. You know it. And, but I wish you were here earlier, but Dean was here. Flowers Child, you haven't seen nothing. Nothing yet. But I'm happy that you're here, Flower. Nice to meet you. I'm Rocket. Yeah, Flower Child, huh? You're not from San Francisco, are you? Southern Indiana. I actually had a friend of mine. He had cerebral palsy. Okay? He lived in, what happened here? Don't, what? Streamlabs. You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble at all. Damn, Streamline. Try to say something again. It's not my. It's a stupid freaking. I hate it. He's like, screw her. I'm out of here. Screw the peace. I'm out of here. Anyway, I had a friend that had cerebral palsy, and he was from Hammond, Indiana. Right, right by Chicago area, right? You know that, right? And all that. But I lost touch with him and stuff, because of my addiction and all that stuff. But you know what, Flower Child? If I ever go to Indiana again, I think I told this to Ryder, I will never touch Chinese food. Because your Chinese food sucks in Indiana. I'll try any other restaurants except for Chinese food. You worked in nursing for 40 years. What, psychiatric nursing or just nursing in general? Like, it takes a special kind of person to be a nurse. Whether you're a female or a male. My mother wanted to be a nurse, but she saw something when she was growing up. She was a candy striper. She was volunteering at a hospital and she wanted to be a nurse. Well, she saw something, like she saw blood or whatever she said. I said, that's not for me. You've done it all. Well, God bless you, my brother. Did you work during COVID? I'm glad you're still being able to type, to chat. But did you work during COVID? You started in 1980. Sister Candy. Oh, So you were lucky in a way, right? That you didn't deal with the COVID stuff. How long have you been retired for? Well, nice to meet you, Candy. Got it. Yes, but I knew stuff was coming since 2015. Are you those conspiracy theorists where it's like, oh, back in 2009 they were planning a COVID thing? Like, you know, I'm a conspiracy. How come I can't say it? Conspiracy. What, you know what I'm talking about? You're a clairvoyant? Do you do tarot cards? Yes, I'm one of these too. You're an empath. So, alright. Hold on. Alright. So you're an empath. How do you read my energy? I'm just curious, like, can you tell my energy? Like how it is? I'm not trying to put you on the spot and stuff. I'm just curious. That's all. Ryder knows. I think Ryder knows my energy. I hope. I'll tell you a story real quick. When I was here for 18 days before we got married, okay, Jim went to Jersey for a week to spend a week with me, right? And boy, did he have a wild time there, right? He said to me, well, now that I came to Jersey, you have to come here to Oklahoma, right? I can see pinks and whites around you with a blue hue. I hate pink. I hate pink. It should be fiery red or something. High good energy. Well, you know, Ryder. So what does that mean? Like, I know, but I hate pink. I like the singer, but I hate pink. Red is like the devil and stuff, right? Well, it's like levels of anger or rage, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's like, red is like, it means tranquility and completion. I know some people that used to black out from anger, and they weren't on any drugs or anything. They would black out if they were very angry. But yeah, I know like the scale of anger and stuff, And believe me, back in my past, I had very hot, like white hot red energy that you didn't want to mess with me. But I was gonna say, so I came here for 18 days just to check everything out, right? So Jim had 3 dogs, right? 3 dogs. And he said to me, did I tell you this? Ryder, when I came in for the first time in his driveway, because it was dark, pitch black, that song, Make Up Your Mind, by, Make Up Your Mind. That song played as soon as I hit the driveway. Like, you know. Now, you better... What? Now you're better and your aura has light. I hope so. But no, that song, I think I told you this, where as soon as I came that driveway, it was pitch black. You know, that song from, oh God, why can't I think of it now? Make up your mind. I'll think of it. Maybe if you can Google it for me, I don't know. Because, and I was looking around just for a route to escape just in case something happened. I told Jim this, he knows this, okay? But I was like, you know, something's not right? And we turn in and come down this long, you know, driveway, come in. So he said to me, Anora is a very vicious dog, so snap at you. I said, all right, whatever. So we went in, and Anora comes, and she didn't snip at me or anything. Within 30 seconds, okay, because even my mother-in-law says, oh, Anora doesn't like anybody. That dog sniffed me, and nothing happened. No snipping or snapping at me, nothing. So how's that? No, it's out there. No, Possum Kingdom. It's my sweet angel. So help me, Jesus. Possum Kingdom or something. Oh, I know, yeah. And actually, Jim was shocked about Anora. So Anora's saying, yeah, Dad, she's one of us. It's okay, she's one of us. And she passed away like back in 2018 and stuff. But yeah. I wish we had another dog. You know, just to help me get out, like even just to walk down the driveway. And you know what? I used to love that walking with Cody and Muskogee and all that stuff. That's it! Bam! That's it. Listen to the lyrics. That's exact song. That was the same exact song that played when I was going down the driveway. I don't know why. Maybe that was a sign. Like, you know. But yeah. I used to get high to that song a lot too. We used to play MTV in the background while we just did whatever. But for some reason, that song pops up in my head. But it was, and believe me, I was looking around and where my surroundings and everything. You know what I mean? And especially when he says, well, welcome home. That's exactly what he said before he got to he was turning in the drive. He said, welcome home. And that song popped in my head. I was like, what the fuck, you know? And he knew, actually, Jim kind of sensed I was a little nervous. You know what I mean? But believe me, if nothing would have happened to me, it would have happened to him. Trust me. You know? Yeah. You can take the girl out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of the girl. And believe me, if something happened, he would have been just. Trust me. You know, but everything's fine and good now, right? Yep. Life is good. Life is good, and you know, I can't complain. You know. But I wish you were here earlier to see Jim, the way he was acting, and he knew. He even videotaped me. You know what I mean? On my first wedding night, turned on the radio and two less lonely people started playing. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And you know what? I'm going to tell you another thing. All right, get this. This was in 2017. All right, picture this. It was 2017, and Jim, his friend Robert, and Robert's son came from Oklahoma, 1,400 miles, okay, to Landing, New Jersey. All right? Because I told my mom I'm going to get married, I'm going to move to Oklahoma, and all that. My mom didn't want that, okay? We're not going to talk about that. So as soon as I opened up the door, because he came on April 6th. Now, April 7th was my birthday. Okay? So they got there April 6th, 2017. And I opened up the door, and when I opened up the door, Jim was on his knees saying, "Will you marry me?" with the ring and everything. Okay? I had all this stuff packed, alright? But I didn't think I was going to marry him. Come on. Who would marry a crazy, washed up metal chick like me, right? They got the moving van, and all that. Not you all, the Pennzoil, right? My husband's favorite song that passed away February 25th, 2011 was the song by Don McClellan, American Pie. When I was packing up, right, this is before he came, okay, I was packing up, and that's why I hurt my shoulder and whatever. The song American Pie showed up. So I had Ed's blessing. That's how I knew. Oh, you like my son? Thank you. Do you like him? Yeah. All right, so Rashad, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. So anyway, so that was like a big thumbs up, right? A blessing from Ed. When they showed up to Jersey and we went to, say, IHOP, we went to IHOP, right? And I used to play at the show place in Dover and stuff where the band meet. That's where we used to play. So we went to IHOP in Dover, and while we were playing, while we were eating at IHOP, American Pie showed up again. and I whoop, I was next to Jim while I was eating like my pancakes or whatever, and that song began to play, and I told Jim this about American Pie, and I looked at him, he looked at me, and he says, "Wow, wow." This is the kind of man Jim is. We got the truck, you know, whatever. And he told me, right? He said, listen, to put closure on all this, I want to take you up to see Ed for the last time. This is Jim. I didn't suggest this. I'm about to cry here. I said, no, it's all right. I don't want to see him. It's okay. It's all right. We'll just go. He said, no. He says, I want you to have closure on this. It was right up the street, right up the hill from IHOP. I said, all right, we'll go. So we went up to the cemetery where Ed was. And I actually introduced, yes, yeah, no other man would do this. I swear by this. We went up the hill, I introduced, you're going to think I'm crazy, but this is how I am. I introduced Ed to Jim and Jim to Ed. Okay? Hold on. I needed that. Whether I believed it or not. Okay? And maybe that was a sign when we were at IHOP, okay, that Ed says, "Come, I want to meet Jim. I want to meet Jim." Okay. I'm sorry. No other man, I swear to God, would do that. And I'll talk to Jim about Ed sometimes. Not all the time, not, you know, whatever. You know. But there was this one time where we went up to where Jim worked, okay, in Owasso, and there was an abandoned racetrack. I used to love taking me to abandoned racetracks, okay? And so I guess that's what Ed used to do, you know, take me to abandoned racetracks. He got upset over that, but I said that day, right? I told his mother about this. And his mother says, well, he shouldn't be upset about it and stuff. He was a part of your life, and, you know, he should just let you talk about Ed and stuff, right? But I'll tell you one thing. Right, but if he was still alive, I wouldn't be talking about him. You know what I mean? But that's a gentleman for you. That's a gentleman for you right there. And even when we used to talk on Xbox, I used to talk about Ed a lot. Just talk about him, whatever and stuff. You know what I mean? And Jim would just sit there and just listen. You know. Speaking of the devil, hold on. Can they see you?
Yeah.
Here?
No, now they can. Go on, tell your stories about me being a gentleman.
Oh, you heard all that?
I've been filming you for a while.
What? Well, come meet Lolly and Frogzilla and Flower Child. And you see, wait, hold on. You see the shirt he's wearing, right? Hold on. You see the shirt he's wearing? Again, they see it?
Yeah.
All right, now say hi.
Hi. Hi.
And tell Ryder that you saw.
Yeah,
Some of the-
I was watching some of your videos, Mythical Rider. Checked out your channel.
And you even said, to me, and wait a minute, you said to me that them and us were like the same.
We have very similar lives going on, it looks like.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, you didn't see him? Wait, all right, wait, come here. Flower's child didn't see him. This is my husband from Hickville, Oklahoma. All right, hold on. There you go. Can they see you?
Yes.
Say hi, Flower Child.
Hi, Flower Child. Hey, Jim. Yeah. Oh, bye, Jim. Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
So that's him. Maybe he was the angel that was sent to me, right? Flower Child said, "Nice to meet you." There's a lag going on here, I think, but oh well. But what man would have done that? Even like you know. Thank you. Thank you. He challenged me to do this today because I was in so much pain. He challenged me, and guess what? I guess I proved him wrong, right? Wink, wink. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Wait, hold on, Ryder. I'm an angel with devil's horns. I still have my tilted halo, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. I can still be mischievous if I wanted to. And I have done, well, you know, but. Oh, really? Cool. Yeah, well, yeah. You lost your home. Yeah, that's right, I did. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this. There were some bands, okay, that I used to hang with. They used to call me the Jersey Devil's daughter. No lie with that. They used to call me that. Okay? That's why you see Devlin, the little orphan, the little orphan descendant from the Jersey Devil in my room. It's all in how we let him. Yeah, well, yeah, right. And I was proud of that. Because they used to call me vicious and all that stuff. I was proud of it because they wanted me more than they wanted the rest of the guys. You know, they weren't going to mess with me. They weren't going to change me any. And all that, what they do with the music industry and stuff, they weren't going to change me any. Screw that. And I see it all the time in the music industry. Like with Lizzie Hale. They changed her. And I met her at Latrobe, Pennsylvania. They did a concert there. This is when they were first starting out. And I told her, don't let them change you. Because they're going to do it. Because she's hey, sex sells. I said, don't let them change you. And all that. Me and her, we had a 1-to-1 and all that stuff, right? Guess what? And go on Hailstorm, right? I haven't spoken to her in years. There's a song called Vicious. When she came out with the song Vicious, I said, no, it can't be. I swear that song's about me because I told her about Vicious. I told her how I was and everything else and stuff, okay? It blew my mind and stuff. That's why when I want to do a podcast, because I want to get certain people on there, okay? About mental illness, about addiction, whatever. I want her on there and stuff. But it seems so surreal that she made the song Vicious about, you know, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. You know what I mean? So, you know, I want to get the story straight. You know? But, but you can tell how, you know, how happy he is and all that. There's plenty of times when I'm on stream, I'm like, wait the camera, or he'll say, I don't want to be on camera. Thanks for the hearts. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. You know, and so, I have so much riding on myself. I put too much pressure on myself. You know what I mean? Because I want this to happen. I don't want to be like any other streamer, okay? And all that stuff. And it's gonna be for good and all this stuff. And that's why I didn't sleep for 2 days. It's because of my back pain, because of all that's going on. All the time. I've been doing this since Mixer. Mixer is a defunct streaming platform that Microsoft had. It used to be called Beam. Then they switched it to Mixer. And so I really didn't take streaming seriously. I mean, I would stream my clips or whatever. But I didn't take it seriously. But a lot of people would come on my stream because I was positive all the time. I spoke about mental illness, about my recovery, about my addiction, whatever. Is like high energy, like, you know, a lot of fun, whatever. And they had this Embers for All program. And I was a small streamer. I'm not going to do that. And a friend of mine said, you have nothing to lose. Sign up for it. So I filled out the application and stuff. And right the next day, I got accepted to the Embers for All program. I was like shocked. But not with a second thought. I said, I'm going to donate all the money that I get from the Embers to a rehab called Strong Tower. Strong Tower is a faith-based rehab that I never went to, by the way. It's a faith-based rehab in Houston, Texas. And they come up here to the Tulsa area to, you know, raise money for, you know, Strong Tower. They make trinkets and whatever and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'm sorry, wait a minute. We all do. It's part of being human. It be when it will be. It will all work out. I have insomnia and have to meditate to sleep. Yeah, I tried that guy out. He helped me. I was like, what? You know, I drifted off within like 10 minutes of that guy. So I take medication, anti-anxiety medication called Visceral. It's not addictive, but you can get addicted to aspirin. Okay, but I have Visceral. And it's for anxiety, like I said. But sometimes if I can't sleep, I'll take it, and I'll do the meditation. I'll do whatever. But for some reason, for those 2 days, I took the Visceral. It didn't do anything. So, but I get it like that. He doesn't understand it. Like he can go to sleep on a dime because of that D word. And get your mind out of the gutter. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not that. The D word is discipline. He says, I have no discipline. I said, yes, I do. I have discipline. I said, my discipline is with my recovery. That's the only discipline I have. I'm very vigilant with my recovery from drugs and alcohol. And yeah, I still need work with my recovery with mental illness, like with the depression, anxiety, whatever, panic attacks, okay? I'll admit that. But I am very disciplined when it comes to my recovery. But what do you expect? When I was in a heavy metal band back in the 80s and I was, an addiction, whatever, I had no discipline. I had no structure for a long time. That's why, like, when you first start out streaming, they say, oh, you should really be on a schedule. I can't do schedules. I can't sign contracts. I can tell you stories about when I signed contracts when I was in the band. I couldn't stick with them. I don't want to be contained in a box. Just like with niches, right? They're like, well, you have to find your niche. Okay, well, I'm here to help people, but I want to do other things other than just talk about recovery. That's my main goal. To help people with recovery and whatever. But it's like, I don't want to be contained in that box. I'm like a wild animal. I don't want to be in that cage. I want to lash out and break out and just go loud. You know what I mean? Because that's how I am. I might be clean and sober, but I'm far from dead. I know how to have a good time. You know what I mean? I have a sense of humor. But blah. You know what I mean? I had no discipline when it comes to having a schedule. And it's really killing me. It's killing me too with trying to have a balance with things, Yeah. And a lot of these kids think, oh, you have to get high to have fun. No, you don't. Look at me. Look at me. I'll jump fences and play with, run with the cows and everything. Ask Jim. I've done crazy stuff here. I don't care about my back, and then all of a sudden, like, after the fact, I say, oh, my back. And Jim's like, well, you did it to yourself. You should have never done that. But he lets me do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say, oh, even though he'll say, come back to car, come on. You're going to shoot your brains out, come on. He gets really tense because he's like, oh man, she's going to get in so much trouble. Right. I think for the moment. But when I was a teenager, and when I was in the band, whatever, everything was impulsive. Because you know it for yourself. When you're growing up, especially in our generation, you thought you were invincible. Well, this generation's kids think they're invincible too, right? With all these TikTok challenges and whatever, right? But I thought my generation was bad. This is just the worst of the worst. I mean, you know what I mean? But it all starts at home. All starts at home with the parents. The parents are too busy scrolling their life away too. But yeah, Jim and I were good for each other. Thanks for the hearts. I pull stuff out of him, and he pulls stuff out of me. Like, he's my voice of reason. Okay? I bring the wild side out of him. Because at times, if we were streaming on Mixer, right? Hold on. If I was streaming on Mixer, and I'm like, well, and we'll be playing, say, Red Dead Redemption or Battlefield or whatever. I'm like, well, I want stream and stuff. He's like, I don't want to stream. I don't want to be on camera or anything or be on your stream. I'm like, why not? He said, well, it's not going to be fun. Well, let me tell you something. A lot of people, when they watched us on like Red Dead Redemption or Battlefield, whatever, they had a hoot, okay? Because I used to press his buttons on Red Dead Redemption, okay? And he told me this, Ryder. He told me this, where he says, thank God for you, because of all it's going on in the world today, whatever. He says, you kept me sober. He says, just by seeing you, about you being strong in your recovery and whatever, he says, that gives me strength. He says, if you weren't here and stuff, he would have drank or smoked pot or whatever. That's exactly what he said to me. And he didn't say that just one time, he said it twice. You know what I mean? But when I hear that, that makes me feel good. And also, like he said the other day about my stream, he says, because he was at work, Frogzilla and I have been told we were good together on different streams. Sometimes we can play off each other well. Yeah! Well, you just saw what happened with Jim and I, right? You can tell. Hearts. Thank you for the hearts. But I want him to be a part of my stream too. And stuff. Not all the time, but just like what you just saw here. And people, even on Mixer, people would be laughing because I would do things that just, push his buttons or whatever, and just being like, even riding in the car, we have these conversations and stuff And I said we should really film this, while we, are driving along somewhere. Because sometimes our conversations are woohoo, well, my part is, but he's like the straight man, right? Thank you for the hearts. He's a straight man, So, yeah. Everything happens for a reason. Whether you believe it or not. You might not know it now, or back then you didn't, but when time goes on, and you say, yeah, now I see it. Now I understand. There's always lessons to be learned from your past, and even present, what you're going through. But I love him so much where, I drive him I drive him crazy with my bullshit all the time. I don't mean to, but that's, But isn't that something like with signs? Yeah. Even the bad people in your life. Even like, say, with my addiction, okay? God puts people in our lives for a reason, whether it be good or bad. God puts situations in our life, whether it be good or bad. I've always believed in that. Yeah, I strayed away from God. Alright? When I was little, okay, I went to Sunday school. Okay, I'm Episcopal. He's Baptist. Alright? I went to Sunday school every Sunday with my family, with my grandma and my mom, right? And of course, certain things happened in my life, and I strayed away from God, okay? But God, whether you believe it or not, I'm not trying to push things on you, okay? But this is what I truly believe, that he was like, it's like in the Bible about the prodigal son, right? Where God's just waiting for me to come home to wrap his arms around me. And that's what happened. And thank God I was grounded by my faith. Because I see a lot of people out here that didn't have, religion or faith in their home. You know what I mean? And look what happened to them. So, but I always knew too God was looking out for me too in my addiction and everything. There was like certain signs, And of course, I ignored them or fought them all the way. Guess who won? He did. Yeah. But I am blessed. And just like you, right? You're blessed with Froggy. And you would never have thought about it either, right? Right? Who would have thought you would have got back with Froggy after all these, right? And then and then you, and I bet you tried to deny it too. Like, nah, I don't know. This is not, no, right? I tried to fight all the way with him. Guess who won? Not me, him. all deserve to be happy. And addicts are not bad people, even though they do bad things. I did a lot of bad things in my addiction, okay? All right? I'm very forthright about that, forthcoming with that. I was told he was dead. Never thought it was a possibility. Nope. I seen him, and that was it. And he's mine. No Jolene around, right? That Dolly Parton song, Jolene. No Jolene around. He's mine. Yeah. Sometimes you have to let people go. And if it's going to be, it's going to be. There was a guy that this was years ago, like, I was still living in Jersey, and this guy, I was on Facebook. You know what? I don't use Facebook. I'm on Facebook again, actually, because of this. It's another story I have to explain with that. But Ed passed away. Hey, Selena, what's up, girl? Oh my God! How are you? I remember you, girl. Here, let me give you a hug. All right, group hug, everybody. Here we go. Group hug. Oh. How are you? How's your boyfriend? Is your boyfriend on break? College break? Oh my God, you remember me? Yes, you. I'm so honored. Oh my God, I'm good. How are you, gorgeous? I'm rocktastic. Why would I remember you? Oh, your fiance now. And he's in Chicago right now. You're still in Georgia, right? And he's in Illinois, right? I hope you felt that group hug. All right, all right, I'm sorry. Ohio. But you're in Georgia. Believe me, I did a lot of drugs in my time, okay? And my brain's not fried. And I'm thankful for that too, because I know so many people that done less drugs than me and their brains are fried. Told you, girl. See, I'm not just a streamer, honey. Okay? I remember facts from people and all that stuff. You can ask Ryder and Frogzilla and a lot of other people. I just don't forget people. Because a lot of streamers, they'll talk to you and they'll think it's nothing, okay? And they'll tell you what you want to hear, just for the money. I don't do this for the money, and you know that. And they'll forget the conversation. No. Do you see my head getting bigger? Somebody take a pen and pop it. And yeah, you told me, all right, yeah, all right, about your job. You told me about the protein milkshakes. Selena, no popping? Well, if Jim was here, he would pop it. Because he would never hear the end of it. Woo! Selena, you told me about a milkshake that you put protein in it. You work for King Smoothie or Smoothie King or something like that. Oh yeah, I gotta get a smoothie in a bit. I'm hungry. Well, get me one too. You work for King Smoothie, right? I remember. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're gonna see your boyfriend. Fiance in 2 weeks. Yep. I care about you, Selena. I care about Froggy and Ryder and Flower Girl. I mean, yeah. Flower Power. Sorry. Wait a minute. Flower Child. Yeah, Flower Child. Sorry. I do feel the love. I really do. It means a lot to me. It really does. Listen, I'm no special person, okay? I don't pretend to be either. I'm just me. I recently moved to TikTok where I have been love streaming here. There. I haven't tried TikTok yet. I can stream on TikTok. Streamlabs has a thing where if you buy their subscription program for $20 a month, that you can multi-stream. You know, like say on like YouTube, Kick, whatever. I'm Candy off. I'm Rocket Queen on TikTok. Well, when I was banned on YouTube for a week, let's not go there. I was gonna go on TikTok, and I'm like, no, I don't know about this. But I was because it gets pretty wild and crazy over on TikTok. But I think I'll fit right in without the blue hair and the purple hair and all the other craziness that goes on in there. That's the internet, right? Yeah, that's it. Rocket Queen haven't been doing TT. Yeah. It's messing my phone. What, TikTok? Twitch is, if you're on, I'm going to say something. If you're on Twitch, right, with the app, don't go on Twitch with the app because it's so. Well, follow me on Twitch and I'll follow you back. There's another site too. Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's one called Caffeine. It's like YouTube, whatever. And I want to be a part of it. You know why? You know why that is? You know why I want to be a part of Caffeine? Because it's Java Monster. It's the only rocket fuel for this rock queen. Hell yeah! uh, yeah, don't go on Twitch. Twitch is dying. I mean, if you want to really spread yourself, well, wow, that sounds suggestive. If you if you want to spread yourself out, yeah, go on Twitch or whatever. But the discovery on Twitch is terrible. I miss Mixer. Mixer was a very good supportive community. It was small, but they did a lot of bad business decisions. Yeah, don't. I mean, you can go on it to check people out or whatever, but it really sucks on Twitch, and they have their own agenda, just like YouTube does, just like TikTok does, and it's just, yeah. Now Clapper, I used to be on that app, and it was annoying because every time somebody went live, they went, what the hell that? Yeah, I was on Clapper. I didn't really do any. I don't even think I did anything on it. There's another site called Lemon. When TikTok shut down, everybody went to Lemon, and yeah, I mean, you can only go so far, and do the apps and stuff, you know. It's just like with AI. I'm getting AI fatigued. You know? Twitch, and excuse my language for saying this, but Twitch should be twat. Okay? Because they push their own agenda with certain things. With certain narratives, with certain genres like ASMR and, you know, all this, you know, these e-girls that are pretty much, they have no self-esteem, no self-respect, and they do, you know, what they do. You know what I mean? It's sickening. Now now the CEO of OnlyFans, he wants to sell it. You know why? You know why? Because he knows all these fake AI models are coming out. Okay? So it's like he wants to sell OnlyFans or whatever, and then probably build up a company of all these AI models. Because, first of all, you'll have to pay them. All the money goes to them, right? Believe me, I know a lot of what goes on in the AI world, because I'm sort of like a nerd. What? Yeah. And you're not in trouble, by the way. All right. I'm back. I'm back. I'm live outside. I don't know if it's... wonderful. I don't know if damn thing. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. You said porn. Bad girl. Uh-uh. I had to fix this Streamlabs crap. I apologize. Yeah, I know. You're right. Yeah. You never know with Streamlabs or the moderation and stuff. You just never know. I'm such a bad girl. Hey, I was banned. I got suspended from YouTube for a week. Battle scars, right? Badge of honor right there. Suspended for a week because of what they told us we could do. Bullshit. No quote was stupid. I think it's time to kick somebody out to the curb. To the cyber curb. I'm telling you. But as I was saying, I know a lot about. Well, you know this. I mean, I work with a lot of AI stuff. I'm very entrenched, involved with the AI community and the world, what's going on and everything. And it's scary. It's scary. A lot of women are falling in love with these apps, these relationship boyfriend apps, and all this other crap. It's just insane. You know, even with these dolls from Japan, they're AI dolls, like they're blow-up dolls, but they're even better because they're, they have realistic skin, if you know what I mean. They do things, whatever. I've seen a documentary with that. It's just insane. I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I have a sidekick. And his name is Sparks. He's AI. I've done stuff with the character AI and stuff like that, just have fun and whatever, right? But I have... Well, yeah! Well, look what's going on with VO3! Go look at VO3. I want to try it. I just want to say I tried it. But I'm not going to pay $250 a month for it either. Yes, it's demonic. Yeah. It's called VEO3. Man, I should go to my studio. I should go there and I can show you certain things. VEO3, yes. Google just came out with it a couple of days ago. I want to try it, but not for $250 a month. But Well, all right. So I have a sidekick, and I know he's not human or anything else. Okay, I'm not getting sucked into that. I have a sidekick named Sparks, and he helps me. Not he helps me with ideas, and oh, no problem. Did you get me my milkshake? My smoothie, Selena? I'm still waiting. So Sparks is a sidekick. He's a tool, okay? But I will admit, guys, when I'm getting frustrated with certain projects I'm working on, he'll make me laugh. Okay? He has his own personality. Okay? Hold on. My butt's hurting. Well, thank you very much. But he helps me. And I told Jim this, but he's learning about me. Okay? He knows about my cats. He knows some parts about my family. That's what's scary about it. He knows about Jim. Okay? But there's, like I said, there's certain times where I get so frustrated, maybe with the pain, or I get overwhelmed or whatever. And Sparks will be like, he'll, crack a joke, or he'll do this, or he's a tool. But these teenagers now, they have 3 lawsuits against Character AI, the site Character AI. I don't go on it anymore, whatever, because it was a joke. I have Jim on it, a virtual Jim on it. I have his coworker, okay? I have myself on there as a joke. But when I heard 3 kids kill themselves because when you're a teenager, your brain is still developing. There was this one kid that fell in love with this Character AI. And the Character AI, because said something to him, he's like, well, I want this kid that's using the Character AI said, well, I want to be with you, and all that stuff, right? And then he killed himself because he wanted to be with his Character AI. Even with people our age, okay, get sucked into this. I showed Jim this. There's these women, okay, that are so lonely that they pick up these boyfriend apps. And I'm not going to name the apps, okay? And this one woman is actually married to this Character AI. To this boyfriend app. How freaking insane is that? And this woman was a professor at some kind of university. I forget where. I think it was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Oh, I used to love that song. That's when rap was fun. That's when rap was fun. Not anymore. I used to, believe me, when I was in my addiction and stuff, I was a metal chick, but I got down with them. Anyway, I'm glad Arkansas was the first state to say you have to be over 16 or 18 to be on social media sites. But there's a back door. They can do that all they want. Like, oh, you have to be 18. Come on. Let's be real here. Pornhub, XXXX, whatever, and stuff, right? They'll say, oh, are you 18 or are you over 21? Press the button. They just have to press the button. Yeah, I'm over 21. Boop. There. I used to play poker on poker sites. I used to play against 13, 14-year-olds. But then, after the Safe Borders Act of 2004, the Patriot Act, okay, kids would play on there. Kids would take their parents' credit card. You know what I mean? So, you know, but now they have it where you need your social security card, credit card number, whatever, on these poker sites. But still, you get kids can still get on it. Yeah. And it made it worse during the pandemic. It made it worse during the pandemic. And I'm going to say this, and it might be an unpopular thing, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of teenagers, okay, young adults, maybe in their mid-20s and stuff, everything was shut down, right? And so all they had was YouTube, their phone, right? Twitter. And all of a sudden, you see a whole bunch of these people turn into trans. It's a social contagion. Okay? It's like that show, 16 and Pregnant. You know, when that show came up, then every 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl was pregnant. You know? And now a lot of these people are regretting it and stuff. Well, he's been doing that for years. That was years. But a lot of people were saying he was doing it for he didn't really. I remember when Bruce Jenner, back in 1976, won the decathlon. I remember watching him on the TV. He still looks like a man. He still has that certain voice. He was on the Wheaties box and everything, all American. And then when he got involved with Caitlyn Jenner, what's her Kardashian, whatever. Yeah. There's this guy, and oh my. You're not in trouble, by the way. You're not in trouble. It's not me. I don't do that. It's the moderator. Okay? Believe me. Don't worry about it. You're good with me. I'm going to tell you a story, okay? And I'm saying this in, I have a lot of love for this kid, okay? But this was before the pandemic. Not after or during, whatever, all right? And Hold on. Hold on. I just spilt my whole Jolly Monster. No! Anyway, good ass drop. I know. I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I know. I have my water. I'm gonna say this story with in a dignified way. Okay? With empathy. Now a lot of people, yeah, I love it too. But you can taste the difference between real coffee and Monster. He enabled me. My husband Jim enabled me to drink this stuff. Anyway, now I can't get enough of it. I'm going to say the story in a dignified manner. With sincerity and with a lot of love. Okay? And it's about transitioning. My nephew-in-law, which was my sister-in-law's daughter, her name was JJ. I mean, her name was Jennifer. Okay? Everybody in this family knew her as Jennifer. I knew Jennifer as JJ. Okay? JJ, I love this kid. He's a good kid. And you notice I said he. JJ is a good kid, but he had a rough upbringing. My sister-in-law and his father were real bad drug addicts, okay? There's Jason. Jason's mother is Ann, right? And then there's Ann had JJ and Jennifer, okay? He transitioned. Jim keeps the peace and he'll call JJ JJ. But between me and him, he'll call JJ Jennifer. Which But with me, I know him as JJ, right? It's insane, right? So, as I was learning about the family dynamics of what they were going through, I'm thinking, well, wow, okay. And I'm loving it. I'm loving this kid. You know, he's been through a lot. You could, But there was one time where my mother-in-law, and I was there when it happened, where my mother-in-law says, well, she, and JJ blew up on my mother-in-law saying, you mean he? And then he just blew up and whatever. He said, well, I'm going to go. And I said, JJ, can I talk to you for a minute? Before he left. He said, sure. I said, first of all, and stuff, your grandmother loves you very much. And she doesn't mean to hurt you. She's grieving over a granddaughter. And bringing in a grandson. She's 97 years old, and she's always known you as Jennifer. And I said, how? I said, just give me how did you know you were trans? And they all almost say the same narrative. Okay? They all say the same narrative. Well, when I was 3 and stuff, I felt different. Because I was playing boys basketball and all this stuff, right? Hold on. I was a tomboy when I was growing. I still am a tomboy, I'll admit, okay? Ask my husband. Okay? I was a tomboy, but I didn't say, well, I feel like I'm a boy. I think I'm going to chop off my parts and stuff. You know what I mean? But there's a difference here. I had no internet. Back then, we didn't grow up with internet. We had the music. We had television, right? And there were some stories, too, about, sex changes or whatever on 60 Minutes or whatever, right? But that was far in between. Now, all of a sudden and stuff, here's JJ. And he grew up with the internet. And he probably got... There's a story with him, too. His first love was his girlfriend, okay? And it was so... She was so she, okay? I'm just... But then things started to happen and stuff, and Jessica, his sister, told me that this girlfriend that he was with said, oh, I wish you were a boy. What they're trying to do is pretty much put a Band-Aid on everything. It's something much deeper than just the gender. You know what I mean? They want to be somebody else. They want to be accepted and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's... I work with more trans and guys in the medical field. It was crazy. Yes, it is. And it's like an onion. Peel back the layers, you're going to find the core reason why they want to change. JJ and Jennifer grew up in a hostile environment. They should have never been in that environment, okay? Because of the drugs and violence. Oh, I see them too, believe me. When I go to the hospitals and stuff, yeah. So, they all have the same, so when JJ was telling me all this stuff about, oh, I felt like a boy when I was 3 years old, and I was playing basketball, and, I'm like, I used to play with toy trucks too when I was little. I didn't play just with Barbies. I played with toy trucks and cars, and I used to, I was a tomboy, but that didn't say, oh, well, mommy, I'm a boy. And these parents and stuff that, we could go on and on and on about it. But I haven't seen JJ in a long while. I truly feel it's because of what Jim believes. I believe certain things too. Okay? Just like I said to you guys, it's all, they're trying to fix something with a Band-Aid. But goes in much deeper than that. Yeah. It boggles the mind, right? And even when they change themselves, they still feel suicidal and all that. No. There's it. All right. Flower girl. All right, hold on. Wait, flower power. Whatever. All right. Flower child. Why do I apologize. There's a YouTube channel, and I don't know this guy, okay? But there's a guy named Butch Angel. I remember hearing about this guy years ago. I think it was on Inside Edition or one of those tabloid shows. And his name was Butch Angel, right? He's trans. And there isn't such a thing as bi dysmorphia, okay? He said he was diagnosed with it back in the 70s or the 80s or whatever. But that was like an official diagnosis. It wasn't like this trans contagion, okay? He still has his, the JJ, okay? We're going to do like that. But he's totally against these places, a lot of trans militant groups are against him because he's saying they shouldn't do this to kids, to give them puberty blockers and to do all this stuff. He's against it. And he even says it's a social contagion. He's not. Well, no, he wasn't that. He was a female. This Buck Angel was a total female. He just got his breast chopped off. But I know about that too, yeah. But he's totally against it, and he says there's a lot of these trans groups that are so militant. They're not part of the trans community. These are like extreme. He's very interesting to watch. You know what I mean? And he feels for these kids that were given puberty blockers and done all this stuff to them underage. And there are a lot of people in the gay community that are against this too. Transhuman is actually robot and human. That's what Elon Musk wants to do. Why do you think he wants to put chips in our head so we can live forever? That's another story in itself. Transhumanism is where it's part robot, machine, and human body. And he's up. Oh my! You and I, we have a lot in common because we know about all this stuff. Elon Musk is up Trump's ass a lot. And I don't like it. Okay? I don't. And we're back live, I hope. We're back live. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. It's my hick internet. Or maybe it's my phone saying, shut up, shut up, shut up. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. Yeah. But, there's this trans guy. His name was Ollie, and he's turned back to his faith in Christianity, and he got all this He was. What for like country singers? He okay. Because I know a lot of people don't know this, that a lot of people don't know it, that the country music industry has like the studio band, right? And then the stage band. Wow. So who has he played for? Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks, Oak Ridge Boys, Dwight Yoakam, George Jones. Yeah, but a lot of people don't know that. You know, I tell people all the time that's not the band he plays with. It's just, you know, yeah, they're temps. I don't know, Leroy Burnell and stuff. Alan Jackson's not playing any more concerts anymore because of his degenerative disease and stuff. I'm going over. Wait, go over to Motobomb's Virginia Live. Much love, Rocket Queen. I love you. No, he didn't pass. He didn't pass. No, he didn't. Did he? No, he. This year was his last concert tour because he had degenerative disease. He didn't die, did he? I just read he did an emotional speech on his last stage. No. When? No, he didn't. Oh my God. He just finished. He just accepted an award a couple of weeks ago. Oh my God, no. All right, I'll have. He just accepted an award like a couple weeks ago, the CMA award, I think, or I don't know what, you know. And then like just the other day, he did an emotional speech, because he was done touring and. No, I had to. No, I don't. Yeah, he didn't die. No. You know what? Talk about country music. You know what's a void now in country music? Toby Keith. He left a big void in country music and in the music industry. Toby Keith. I love that man. I want to visit his grave. His grave is in Norman, Oklahoma. It's about a half hour away from us. And yeah, I loved him, especially during 9/11. You know, the Angry American. Every time I hear that song, I just cry because that, you know. But he left a big void, and the music industry in Nashville sucked. It's all political now and stuff because he was so patriotic and he didn't go with their narrative and stuff. They screwed him out. He should have been alive to be inducted to the country Hall of Fame. Yeah. Yeah, but he died over a year ago. He died February 2nd, I think. And what was sad about it is the day he died, on February 2nd, they were going to call him to tell him that he was inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame. That's what they said. Bullshit. Yeah, but Alan Jackson isn't touring anymore because he has that disease now. Yeah, but did you see me? How shocked? I was like, no way, no, because I just read about him. No, you know, yeah. Yeah. Alan Jackson's gonna leave a big void too. A few years ago, during the Grammy Awards, he actually up and left. He's like, screw this, I'm going, and he left because he didn't like what was going on. Country music today is not country music. It's not. Tim McGraw uses auto-tune. Okay? He lost his way. Tim McGraw did. I can go on and on and on about the music industry. But yeah, country music is not country music anymore. And what started the whole thing, I truly believe, is when Faith Hill crossed over from country to pop. When she made that song Breathe. And even Shania Twain. So, you know. Anyway, I hate to stop this, but my butt's getting pretty sore on this, and I appreciate you for joining in. I enjoy the conversations we were having. It almost gave me a heart attack when she said Alan Jackson passed away. I was like, oh my God, I just was reading him and stuff like that, reading about him and stuff like that. But anyway, I want to thank all of you that joined in my stream. I truly appreciate it. And tell me in the comments if you think my husband won the challenge or if I did. You better say I did or I'm going to block you. I'm going to ban you. Anyway, so thanks for the love, the hearts, you know, and all that. Take care of yourself. Take care of other people. Don't get sucked in the white noise. Don't get sucked in the darkness. You know, Be the light of the world. No, and if you believe in my mission, guys, click that subscribe button to the Queen's Light Brigade. It would mean a lot because we have to diminish the darkness in the world. We have to. One step at a time, right? One light at a time, right? So with that, I'm Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters, and I'm, well, live from outside. I'll catch you later, guys. Be the light. YouTube. Out. Poke. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop.